Well, hello there. I'm Peggy, and I thank you for letting us share a part of your day. And we have lots of good information to share with you, as we always do. And we have the phone number, of course, and the website. And before I introduce my guests, I get a lot of stuff sent to me. And sometimes there are things I think are very helpful for people. And I got this, which I thought was terrific. It's a door handle alarm. So you don't have to spend a fortune and have an alarm system hooked up in your house. This goes right on your door. And if somebody touches the doorknob, an alarm sounds. And so you could use this in a college dorm. You could use it if you travel. In business, you could put it on your motel room door. If you're a student in a university, there are all kinds, and they're reasonable. I'm not sure how much, maybe about $12, I think. But they're available locally. And I just thought you might like to know about that. A door handle alarm. And it's easy. You just hook it on the door and you're in business. And I think we all like to feel safe, and we like to be aware of what's going on around us. And so I wanted to just share that with you. It's a door handle alarm, and you'll find it, I imagine, Walmart, okay, lots of places will have something like that, okay? Now, I want to introduce two people with some wonderful information for us all. And I'm very pleased to have Cindy James here. And Cindy is part of the growth and development for hospice. And next to her is Tim Bishop. And Tim is the volunteer coordinator. And I thank you for coming. And you brought these gorgeous umbrellas. Oh, we're going to have a good time. We're going to find out a lot of things today. But you have, I guess I better just ask you. We've all heard the word hospice. And it's something you hope you never need. But what is it? What is hospice?
Well, you're correct, Peggy. Hospice is a service we all need and nobody wants. And we are from actually Agape Hospice, located right here in Greenville.
So you're local for us.
On Mills Avenue is our office. But hospice, getting back to your question, hospice is a service for folks that are dealing with and facing a life-limiting illness or an illness that there is no cure for. And hospice delivers in-home care wherever that person lives, which could be in their home, an assisted living, a skilled nursing facility, which people call nursing homes,
yes,
apartments, group homes, a box on the street. Hospice care can be delivered anywhere somebody lives, wherever they call home.
And this is for anyone, not just senior citizens. This is for anyone with an illness that
correct. That is life-limiting, that there is no cure for.
Okay.
Some people like to use the word terminal. That is part of the diagnosis or part of the terms. Terminal scares a lot of people when they think terminal illness. But really, if you have an illness going on that there's no cure for example, Alzheimer's and dementia, people don't think of that as a terminal diagnosis, but there really is no cure for it yet. And over half the folks we take care of are dealing with that type of diagnosis. So I want people to expand their thinking and not be afraid of that hospice word.
Okay, now I want to ask you, what actually does hospice do? We've all heard the word, but what do you do?
Well, hospice provides services for those individuals and those caretakers. It's so important that when you have an individual who has a life-ending disease, that they have the support of a medical community, of the nurses, the doctors, CNAs. But Cindy is so intricately involved with that. She could tell you more details on those individuals and what they do in the homes themselves. As a volunteer coordinator, we're recruiting volunteers to come in and to help and assist in that home or even an assisted living facility to enhance the life of those individuals and to help those caregivers during that time frame.
So now you have an ongoing need for people to volunteer with hospice.
Yes.
But they don't have to be medically trained. What if somebody out there says, maybe I could help? What do you require of a volunteer?
Well, under law, volunteers are required to go through an official background check, a criminal background check,
Yeah,
sex
sure.
offender, etc. But also you have to have a health assessment done and to pass the TB test to make sure that you're not infectious. Now, Agape Hospice, we pay for all those services. They don't have to pay as a volunteer to go in and to become a volunteer. In addition
That's
to
wonderful.
that,
So if somebody out there is thinking maybe they could help and be a volunteer, you help them get to the point where they're ready to be a volunteer.
exactly, and we provide them with a 2.5-hour in-depth training and continuous ongoing support. That's what I'm here for. I am to help you go in and be a volunteer and to do what you feel God has given you a desire to do. And it's a gift. It's such an amazing gift that you give to these individuals. And in the world, there's so many opportunities that you can have an impact. But in hospice, there is an opportunity to have that final impact, to make that big difference in that person's life. They light up. It truly is the best part of their day when you come in. Or you can help in our office with doing clerical work, making tuck-in calls, as we call it, check on them, see how they're doing. There's just so many opportunities to give your time and to share, you know, for us being a faith-based organization, as far as our belief set, to share the Spirit of God and to have an opportunity to be a minister, to go in and be that stewardship. It's just an amazing opportunity.
And many times a lot of these people are very lonely.
Yes.
So somebody who'd be willing to go in and read to them or
Yes.
read the Bible to them
Yes.
or whatever and spend a little time.
Oh, absolutely. And just sitting there and having a chance to touch that person's hand and spend time with them, it is so important to them. And the caregivers, it's so important to be able to give them a little bit of a respite. But you don't have to be in the home doing that direct patient. You can be supporting us in the office. You could be making those follow-up phone calls.
So you need people in all areas.
Absolutely.
Not just somebody to go into a home where somebody's
Right.
terminally ill. You
Right.
need somebody like to help answer the phone.
Yeah, all of the above. And they can be from junior volunteers, as we call it, that are high school students. We have
Oh, you
college
use high
students.
school people.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
wonderful.
And we have individuals through all age categories. One of our greatest volunteers we have in the Greenville office, she's 78 years old. She is a dynamo, and she gives probably about 4 to 8 hours a week of time to go in. And for her, she sees it as a ministry. She has a calling from God to do this. And so we are providing her with the opportunity. And what she gets out of it is probably double what the individual and the patient, the caregiver. But it's just an amazing opportunity.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask you, Tim, about what is required. I mean, you've got to be sure that the person who is a volunteer,
Right.
if they go into someone's home, that they are physically okay. And
Correct. Correct. And I think what you're asking to is the time commitment. You can give 2 hours a month. You could give an unlimited amount of time per month. It is up to you. We don't set an expectation of what you have to do. We ask you to try to commit to 2 hours per month, but most volunteers end up doing more or less, and it's a flexible schedule. You don't have to be there
that's less
every
than
Wednesday.
you spend going to a movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they get to have some say in what they do.
Absolutely. The other thing is we talk with them and have a chance to get an understanding of what they're interested in, what their skill sets are, what they desire to do, and then we match them up. And even with the patients themselves, matching them with someone who would be just the perfect fit for them. And that's what we're here for at Agape Hospice, especially as a volunteer coordinator, is to make sure that you have the greatest opportunity possible as a volunteer that fits your needs, and at the same time those patients, those caregivers, those families have their needs met too.
So if someone wants to volunteer, they have to be checked out because they go into the home
Correct.
where the person is and read to them, talk to them, whatever, pray with them.
Right.
Whatever.
They do whatever the family or the patient would like them to do, and it's usually really simple stuff like you said, reading or just hand holding, or sometimes our volunteers are talented and they sing, or they'll sing a song, or just whatever their skill set is. And like Tim said, we match the volunteers with their comfort level, what they feel comfortable doing. Because hospice services, we were touching on this earlier, exactly what it is. Hospice services, we send a registered nurse into the home every week to check on that patient. It also comes with a caregiver, certified nursing assistant that is in the home daily, 2, 3, 5, sometimes 7 days a week, depending on what that person needs.
Okay, so we've stressed that you need volunteers and what a volunteer needs to be able to do. But this is the other side of the coin, what hospice does.
Correct.
And, you know, let's face it, the name scares people.
Oh, sure it does. Absolutely.
It scares all of us,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how you overcome that, but...
Well, I always talk to families and folks, and I try to phrase it like this, that, you know, we're born and we die and pass on to another life. Well, during our lifetime, there are many challenges and obstacles. Well, when you get to when you need hospice services, that's really just another challenge of living. It really is. And so we're here to help you navigate that last challenge of living. We want it to not be sad. We want it to be as positive as it can be. We want you to be pain-free. We want your loved ones to feel supported. We want you to be able to say and do everything that you feel is unfinished. So it really is just the icing on the cake to your life, really. So people need to look at it that way and not that, oh my goodness, I've got hospice, it means the end of my life. Really, it's just another challenge of living.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're busy all year long. You're busy people, I tell you. But we've got these beautiful umbrellas. They have an event coming up, and we want people to be there and to know about it. And it's coming up November 19th. It's right around the corner. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break and come back. We've got these gorgeous umbrellas to show you and tell you about that we can all go to this event. So we'll be right back.